Clover Health has had a very interesting week thus far. Let's talk about where I think the stock price could be headed very soon, some of the news that's been coming out about the stock, and my thoughts overall. Make sure to watch to the very end of this video so you don't miss any of the analysis that I'm going to be talking about today with this stock. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, but other than that, guys, let's get right into this video. Alrighty guys, here we are with Clover Health Investments. As you can see here, we're sitting about $9.27 from the last intraday trading session on July 9th, which of course is a Friday. Today is Saturday, the day I'm recording this video, just to give you some kind of context into when this video is being recorded and of course published. As you can see here, unfortunately, the overall trend for the intraday trading session was a negative one, going down about 0.96% here just on the day. Not great, but not, obviously awesome. And just overall a little bit unfortunate just the way that's kind of moving. Now, we'll get into more of the price actions here in the later part of this video, but for now, we're going to get into some actual good news here. So Clover Health is expanding its management team by hiring two key critical people in this overall move and transition. And then we'll read a little bit about it. So let's take a look. So the main person here is, I'm so sorry if I'm saying this wrong, but Prahebdeep Singh as Chief Growth Officer and Justin Joseph as Chief Strategy and Development Officer. Former executive at WeWork and Uber, which I really like two of those companies. Those are great. Will lead Clover member growth and expansion of service areas. Most recently, as WeWork's Executive Vice President and Global Head of Marketplace, he was responsible for building and leading the company's strategy for its digital platform and emerging products and services. Prior to this, Mr. Singh was a general manager at Uber Eats, where he helped transform and scale it from a concept to a multi-billion-dollar business. So very great accolade that he has under his belt already, and that he's coming in to the industry with, focused on acquiring, growing, and managing some of the largest restaurant partners in the world, which has helped him develop deep experience in driving growth and expansion. This is great stuff. And then Justin Joseph, who joins Clover from Palantir, which is actually really interesting and cool, where he worked on commercial strategy, driving global business development across the healthcare, medical device, life sciences, emerging digital sectors, and a variety of others. Prior to Palantir, Mr. Joseph spent 15 years at Deloitte, where he led global client engagements with leading Fortune 500 companies, spanning strategy, M&A, and transformation programs. So both highly respected, top tier, I would say, businessmen that are coming into this sector as, of course, in expanding their management team as, of course, Chief Growth Officer and Chief Strategy and Development Officer. Huge roles to play in this company, and overall, I think really great fits for this company. Now, whether or not this is going to be a great catalyst, this of course happened a day ago, and the stock price really did not move much, unfortunately. But I think long term, again, guys, I have said this in every single video, and I'm going to continue to say this. I like Clover as a long-term growth play. I like Clover because I think that they are continuing to expand their revenues. They're continuing to expand operations in more than just a couple of states in America. They want to go, obviously, to the entire United States, and they're doing that. As you can see here, they're just hiring a Chief Growth Officer in order to facilitate that in the first place, and I think that's a really smart move, especially getting somebody who was in on the ground floor of a company like Uber Eats and WeWork. I think that is a great play, and I think that's one that really is going to facilitate a lot more growth in not only their obviously the fundamentals of the business, but also hopefully the stock price. And again, it's one of the main reasons why I am long on CLOV. Now let's get into a little bit more of the short literal short interest, but also more of the kind of short-term, mindset with CLOV here. If we take a look at the overall daily short volume, we can't see it, view it, and it's gonna take me to a subscription page. Let's look at the stuff we can look at. Those short interest days to cover, about 0.8. Short percent of float, very high. 36.71% of these shares that are floating are short. Absolutely crazy percentage there. 0% increase or decrease just in the last little bit here. Short interest is 41,400,000. Shares float is about 112,000 or 112,780,000, and the short interest prior shares short are 41,270,000. So this is what we're looking at here. No change in the short percentage. But guys, I want to remind everybody, because a lot of people think that, oh, the Clover squeeze already happened, it's not going to happen again, or it can't happen again. I still think there is potential. Again, any stock with that high of a short interest, 36.71%, that's a very significant amount. And it's one that I would not be surprised if we saw further movement in or further squeezes in the future if retail sentiment does kick back up. I think there needs to be positive catalysts though, and of course, retail sentiment needs to be significant in order to drive the price further up. But of course, that is kind of it's a guessing game. It's a lottery game, you know, whether or not that's going to happen. Nobody knows for sure, but it is something, of course, to pay attention to and to be aware of, especially if you are long on this stock. You want to be aware of the shortcomings and the short kind of mindset, on day-to-day, interactions and activities going on with the stock, because just as important as it is your long-term vision with the stock, it's just as important the short-term vision as well. Now, let's go into Think or Swim. Here we are with Think or Swim on the price action here. As you can see here, pre-market was kind of all over the place, kind of up and down. Oh, by the way, just a quick mention, this is the last intraday trading session of July 9th, just so you guys are aware where we're at right now. And as you can see here, market open, dumped significantly, kind of traded sideways a little bit, pumped back up here to about $9.57, and unfortunately just could not hold those levels and continued the rest of the day with the lower lows, and continuing down here to after hours, where it just kind of stagnated with not a lot of volume. And hit a low of $9.13. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is we're going to pull out to a 10-day so we can get kind of an idea of what's been going on over the last week. Well, in 10 days, obviously, as well. It's not pretty. It's not pretty right now. I'll be upfront and say that, right? The overall trend for CLOV is unfortunately a downward trending one, but that does not mean that it is going to stay like that for long. I think that, again, if there are more positive catalysts that are continuing to be released, and if there's more retail sentiment that kicks back in, we could see a possible reversal of this trend. But that's not guaranteed. That's not 100% going to happen, but it is something that I do think has some merit and has some reason to actually happen in the first place. As you can see here too, what's really interesting is about the way the RSI has been dipping. Like, there might be some market manipulation going on, because I have never seen an RSI graph dip below the 30 level this much in such a short period of time. With, there are spikes, of course, in the RSI, but again, these are not major pumps in price, right? We're getting much more downside potential than we are upside here, which is, I think, incredibly fascinating to look at with this stock, because it just shows, I think, how not only volatile, of course, a lot of these stocks are, but also the way the overall market trend is moving the price, the way the algorithms are moving the price, and the way that retail sentiment is kind of kicking in. There's a lot of people, I think, who are selling out of their positions at a loss right now. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we continue to see CLOV dump the way it is dumping. And overall, it's just on a bad trend right now. And again, like I said before, that does not mean that's going to last forever. That does not mean that that is the future of the stock, that the stock's going to go to like $3 or $0 or whatever. Again, this is a long-term thing in my mind. Again, even if you discount the short squeeze, if you don't look at the short squeeze to begin with, this, in my mind, is a growth stock. This is a growth stock that, is building up its business fundamentals. It's building up, proper, just everything. It's doing everything it's supposed to do as a growth stock, as it wants to continue to grow and expand into new industries, to raise revenues, and to hopefully become profitable very soon. It's doing all of that relatively correctly in my mind. But again, it takes patience for the payoff of that. And sometimes these trends get like this, where we see a huge downward trend for a lot of days, and then all of a sudden, boom, we have a new trend line start to kind of form here after probably a catalyst. That's what caused this pump right here. And then we go up, we go back down, they'll kind of correct a little bit, go back up. Again, the stock market is all about trading in waves and going with the flow. A lot of it is understanding what the market is currently doing, and a lot of it's just market psychology. And it's not easy to know, but again, a lot of it is just patience and spending time in the market and studying graphs and studying how things move on a day-to-day basis, week to week, or even year to year, because it will help you overall long-term in your success with the stock market. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for Clover Health. I hope I've earned your thumbs up today. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video like this. Check out our WeBull link if you guys want to pick up some free stocks with WeBull, and check out our Patreon link if you guys want to join our private Discord. But other than that, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro. Take it easy.